It's a parking lot.
Paths don't face that way.
Yep. So, yeah, so making sure I don't want any of my colleagues to be misled by somebody who doesn't quite understand which way the sign is facing. The advertising doesn't face anybody's house, anybody's street. It is in the middle of an industrial and parking lot area. So how would you be offended by making that sign bigger? In fact, if you don't see the sign, you probably wouldn't even notice it when you drive by. So I have no problem with the size of the sign. I have no problem with the location of the sign. I don't think there's going to be an impact on any residents. The local councillor's gone out and talked to his residents. He's canvassed the community. And if he's made a mistake, he may not be here in the next election because he will be disciplined at the ballot box. But I actually think he's going to net ahead on the votes because there are going to be a lot of people who will say, you know what? Our skating clubs, our figure skaters, our hockey players, our young kids, the men's hockey leagues, all of us are going to benefit by this because we're getting increased rent. Not donations, not community benefits, not some nefarious innuendo that something might be going wrong here. It's a very simple transaction. This charity has a sign. They've come and they've negotiated an agreement with a sign company that's going to have a bigger sign and more revenue, and it nets them $50,000 a year more. Over 10 years, that's $500,000 more going to that organization. That's great. They're raising money by not coming to the City of Toronto with hat in hand asking us for more money, because what are their alternatives? Well, they could raise fees for the kids, they could do all sorts of things, but we know what happens a lot. We have dozens and dozens of local community groups, all of them excellent, amazing organizations, coming to us with cap in hand, asking us for more money to support their causes. So they could come to us and ask us for more money. They could come to us and say, you know, we have a loan here, why don't you just wipe out the loan? We're actually paying you back money. Why don't you just take a $7 or $6 or $5 million hit and write off some of the debt that we owe you? That's the wrong approach. This is a way that people can make additional revenue, help their nonprofit purposes at no cost to the taxpayer. This is something that we should be encouraging and supporting and making sure happens all across the City of Toronto. I look at an earlier report we just proved today at Yonge and Bloor, and the clerk tells me it's still confidential till the end of the meeting, so I won't give you the financial numbers in this report, but you know what they are. Local councillors like us negotiate for community benefits all the time. Section 37 money. We say this should go to a community centre, this should go to a splash pad, this should go to a library. So we get involved in negotiations all the time. And of course, this application is not about community benefits. It's about rent. Plain and simple. So when we actually come and do good things as local councillors, I think it's disingenuous for people to come up and say, because the local councillor at Yonge and Bloor just negotiated a fantastic agreement, we should somehow point fingers at that person and say, maybe there's something going on. Maybe there's something nefarious. Let's ask the Integrity Commissioner for a report. No, absolutely not. It should never happen.
Oh. Okay, I'm just a Councillor de Bearmaker, there's a point of personal privilege.
Sure, if you could put my time back. Yeah, I stopped when I saw her stop.
Yeah, I did stop your time. Okay, looks like we've got problems again. Everything's dead again. We need to be rebooted.
Let's come back tomorrow.
No, please. Okay.
That's the flick of the switch, right?
Because of that hydro. That's what today's hydro.
$1 million. Mr. Million. Okay. Not bad for you. Yeah. A little high price.
Councillor Burnside to speak.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I have to tell you, I find this place a little bit confusing at times. Councillor Perks asked a specific question. Is the sign at 1073, is that a donation? He asked staff that question. Staff said no, but he continues to go down that road. Absolutely. I'm also confused if the city or one of our agencies enters an agreement and it's a bad deal, it's all over the newspapers. Well, heck, now we get a good deal and we're in trouble again. I just don't understand that. I thought, well, maybe it's me. So I looked up what the word rent means. It's a regular payment to a landlord for the use of property or land. That's what we're talking about here. Currently, there's a sign, it's a billboard. Advertising faces the community and it faces a rail line. Currently, the arena board collects $9,500 rent for this sign. We have a proposal in front of us. Yes, the sign is bigger, but hey, guess what? The advertising no longer faces the community. We have a branded sign telling people they're approaching the Leaside Community Gardens. The advertising is facing a rail line, and behind that it's a hydro field. Total advertising space of what we currently have with the billboard, 400 square feet. Advertising space in the proposal, 350 square feet facing a rail line. It's a pretty straightforward decision to me. I'm asking Council not to vote in favor of Councillor Davis's, I believe it was her referral. I appreciate her intention about trying to look at the Leaside model and forgiving the $7 million loan. And as the councillor that represents that area, hey, thank you. I'd love your money. I'd love it if our community didn't have to pay an extra $20 an hour for ice rental. But you know what? They entered into the agreement. The arena board's running the place. They're figuring things out. They've never missed a payment. I think that $7 million should be used in another community where we can build another facility. I'll take it. So please refuse or vote against Councillor Davis's motion. Please support Planning and Growth's motion approving the sign. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's vote. Oh, Councillor McMahon, you took your name off, right? Yeah. Okay, let's vote. In order? Okay, we're going in numerical order. So motion number 1. Recorded vote.
Councillor Kelly, when you're seated. Is that it?
The motion does not carry. The vote is 11 to 18.
Motion 4 is redundant. Okay, item is amended. On favor? Recorded.
Councillor Robinson, please. Councillor Fletcher. Councillor Mihevc, please.
The item is amended, carries 19 to 10.
Okay, our next item is page 3, ST